Homer never woke up from his coma. This theory claims everything after Season 4, Episode 18 is Homer's dream. 6 months before the coma episode, God tells Homer he'll die in 6 months. Then Bart's prank puts Homer in a coma, and he supposedly wakes up. But fans believe he never did. Before this episode, plots were mundane, like Bart cheating on Tess or Lisa crushing on teachers. After the coma, things got surreal. Homer goes to space, becomes an astronaut, and characters survive impossible situations. The theory explains why nobody ages and why consequences disappear. The plots become increasingly absurd because they're filtered through Homer's unconscious mind. Producer Al Jean denied this, but the tonal shift is undeniable. Every wild adventure since is just Homer's brain keeping itself entertained while his body lies in a hospital bed. The entire Simpson family are secret geniuses. This theory argues every Simpson is brilliant, but chooses to hide it. Grandpa Abe was an accomplished pilot, soldier, and pianist before senility. Homer's mom Mona was a criminal mastermind who evaded authorities for decades. In the episode Homer gets a crayon removed from his brain that's been lodged there since childhood. He instantly becomes a genius, proving God doesn't exist and solving complex equations. But his intelligence alienates his friends, so he gets the crayon put back in. He literally chose stupidity over loneliness. Marge was an excellent student who gave up everything for family. Bart shows natural aptitude for languages, schemes, and even won awards for his creative work. Maggie executed a Mission Impossible-style heist at daycare to get pacifiers back and has saved Homer's life multiple times. The theory says Lisa's the only one who chose intelligence over happiness, which is why she's the saddest character in the family. Everyone else picked being dumb and happy over being smart and miserable. Bart will grow up to be Matt Groening. This theory says Bart is literally based on the show's creator and will eventually create The Simpsons himself. Matt Groening named all the characters after his real family, using their actual names, but changed his own to Bart, an anagram of brat. Throughout the series, Bart demonstrates writing and comedy talent. He ghost-wrote an award-winning Itchy and Scratchy episode and created the Oscar-winning Angry Dad short film. His pranks show creativity, and his family constantly inspires his work. Just like Groening, Bart's a natural storyteller who uses his life as material. The theory suggests adult Bart becomes an animator and bases his cartoon on his dysfunctional childhood in Springfield. It's meta and makes perfect sense given Groening's real-life inspiration. The show we're watching is essentially Bart's future creation. Homer's wealth comes from B Sharp's royalties. This theory solves a major plot hole. How does Homer afford his lifestyle on a safety inspector's salary? The family travels the world, owns 2 cars, and lives in a huge house. The answer is his Grammy-winning barbershop quartet from Season 5. The B Sharps reached Beatles-level fame before breaking up. Homer's still collecting massive royalty checks from their album sales, concerts, and merchandising. This explains his financial ups and downs throughout the series. The other members can't benefit the same way. Barney drank all his money away. Apu has 8 children draining his income. Skinner lives with his mother and lets her control his finances. Homer's the only one who kept his earnings, supplementing his nuclear plant paycheck. Every vacation, every lobster dinner, every stupid purchase is funded by his brief music career. Marge shot Mr. Burns. This theory challenges the official story that Maggie did it. When Burns is shot, he writes MS on a sundial, supposedly meaning Maggie Simpson. But fans believe it actually stands for Marge Simpson. Burns had been tormenting the family, blocking out the sun, stealing Maggie's candy, and ruining their lives repeatedly. Marge had motive and opportunity. The theory says Burns deliberately framed the baby because he's in love with Marge and knew no jury would convict an infant. Chief Wiggum even says exactly that. Burns protected Marge by blaming Maggie. Evidence includes Marge's suspicious behavior during the investigation and her relief when Maggie's declared the shooter. She got away with attempted murder because Burns covered for her. The entire 2-part mystery was misdirection hiding Marge's crime. God told Homer he's a cartoon character. This theory explains Homer's personality shift from lovable doofus to destructive jerk. In Season 4's Homer the Heretic, Homer dreams of God who's about to reveal the meaning of life. God says it, but the credits cut him off before we hear. Fans believe God told Homer he's a fictional character in a TV show. This revelation changed everything. If nothing's real, consequences don't matter. Homer stopped caring caring about others, became increasingly selfish, and did progressively worse things. His later behavior makes sense if he knows he's in a cartoon where nothing has permanent impact. He can't really die. People will forgive him by next episode, and reality resets constantly. The theory reframes Homer's Flanderization as self-awareness rather than bad writing. He's not getting dumber, he's acting out because he knows it's all fake. Springfield is Homer's alternate reality. This theory suggests Springfield doesn't exist in any U.S. state because Homer created it. Nobody can locate Springfield geographically. The state borders Ohio, Nevada, Maine, and Kentucky simultaneously, which is impossible. The town has beaches, mountains, deserts, and snow depending on the episode. Technology advances, but people don't age. The theory compares it to WandaVision, claiming Homer subconsciously controls everything. This explains why he survives constant injuries, tries crazy careers without consequences, and why the town's geography shifts. Springfield exists outside normal space because it's Homer's mental construct. Every inconsistency, every plot hole, every impossible situation is because one man's mind is generating the entire reality. The show isn't happening in America. It's happening in Homer's head. Grandpa Abe is a time traveler. This theory explains Abe's contradictory stories and confused memories. In Treehouse of Horror, Homer creates a time machine and accidentally keeps altering reality. He finally remembers advice from his father and picks a timeline close enough to the original. This suggests Abe's an experienced time traveler who's seen multiple timelines. His scrambled recollection isn't senility, it's remembering events from different versions of history he's lived through. He knows things he shouldn't because he's been to the future. He forgets things he should know because they happened in alternate timelines. Every time Abe tells an impossible story or contradicts himself, he's actually remembering a different version of events from his time travel adventures. The Simpson plot holes exist because Abe keeps messing with history. Ned Flanders is actually the devil. This theory started from Treehouse of Horror, but fans think it applies to the regular show. Multiple episodes show Ned as the devil, trying to claim Homer's soul and manipulate events. But what if that's not just a Halloween gag? Flanders is too perfect, too conveniently there during crises, and too forgiving of horrible treatment. His absolute devotion to Christianity could be overcompensation hiding his true nature. He lives next to Homer specifically to test and torment him. Every time Homer suffers, Flanders is nearby watching with that smile. The theory paints Flanders as Satan in disguise, making Homer's life miserable while pretending to be the perfect neighbor. His occasional breakdowns show the mask slipping when the act becomes too much to maintain. The show is Ned Flanders' biased perspective. This theory claims we see everything through Flanders' eyes, which explains character portrayals. Ned views Homer as a boorish idiot, Bart as an irredeemable brat, Lisa as wasting her potential, and Marge as suffering unnecessarily. Meanwhile, Ned sees himself and his family as perfect and righteous. The theory argues the Simpsons aren't actually that bad, but Flanders' judgment makes them seem worse. His contempt for Homer colors every scene. When Flanders finally cracks in later seasons, it's because maintaining this superior view becomes unsustainable. The show's criticism of The Simpsons is really Flanders' religious superiority complex projected onto his neighbors. We're watching Ned's version of events, not objective reality. Every Simpson is affected by the Simpson gene except the women. This isn't just a theory, it's canon, with dark implications. The episode Lisa the Simpson establishes a genetic disorder on the Y chromosome that makes Simpson men stupid and lazy. It affected Grandpa, Homer, and eventually Bart. The gene activates over time, turning promising young men into underachievers. But the women, Lisa and Maggie, are immune. This explains the intelligence gap in the family and suggests Bart's doomed to become like Homer no matter what he does. The gene is hereditary fate, a biological curse passed through Simpson males. Lisa's relief at being spared is mixed with horror, knowing her brother will deteriorate. The theory extends to explain Homer's half-brother Herb's success as a variation where the gene affected him less severely. Nelson and Barney are the same person. Multiple theories connect these two. The strongest claims Nelson grows up to become Barney after a hard life of bullying and being bullied. They look remarkably similar. Both have troubled family situations, and both mask pain with bravado. The time travel version says adult Barney went back to change his childhood as Nelson, creating a paradox. Another theory says Barney's Nelson's biological father, who abandoned abandoned him, which explains the physical resemblance and Nelson's fatherlessness. Either way, their connection runs deeper than random Springfield citizens. One represents the bully's youth, the other represents what that bully becomes, a drunk failure drowning his regrets at Moe's Tavern. Maggie shot Mr. Burns, but Marge planned it. This combines two theories into something darker. Maggie did pull the trigger, that's confirmed, but fans believe Marge orchestrated it. Burns had been destroying their lives systematically. Marge couldn't do it herself. Too much evidence, but she could let Maggie wander near Burns with a loaded gun, knowing the baby had motive after Burns stole her candy. Maggie's too young to be prosecuted, making her the perfect weapon. Marge gets her revenge through proxy assassination. When the investigation happens, Marge acts relieved it was Maggie, but really, she's relieved her plan worked. She committed the perfect crime by using her own infant as the murder weapon. Bart is secretly a stonecutter. This theory says Bart's already a member of Springfield's secret society before Homer. The stonecutters have two entry methods: save a member's life or be born the son of a member. In Season 2, Bart saved Mr. Burns' life, which grants automatic membership. He's also Abe's grandson, giving him hereditary rights. The theory argues Bart's been a secret member for years, which explains his influence around town and how he gets away with things. His pranks have protection from the world's most powerful organization. When Homer finally joins, he doesn't realize his son's already in deeper than he'll ever be. Moe knows Bart is the prank caller. This theory claims Moe's not stupid, he's playing along. Bart's been calling for years with the same voice, the same pattern, and from the same house phone. Moe absolutely knows but pretends to fall for it every time. Why? Either he enjoys giving Bart the satisfaction, he's afraid of Bart stopping and losing the connection, or he's genuinely fond of Bart, and this is their twisted bonding. In one episode, Moe recognizes Bart's voice and greets him warmly, never connecting him to the pranks. This suggests willful ignorance. Moe's lonely desperate, and those prank calls might be the closest thing he has to friendship. He plays dumb because the alternative is admitting how pathetic his life is. The show is a cartoon within the Simpsons universe. This meta-theory says the show we watch is a fictional show inside Springfield. Bart frequently breaks the fourth wall, and characters acknowledge they're on TV. Multiple episodes show behind-the-scenes behavior, actors playing themselves, and reality shifts that only make sense if it's all scripted. The theory suggests Springfield residents are watching The Simpsons just like we are, and occasionally the layers blur. This explains continuity errors, character inconsistencies, and why things reset. It's not bad writing, it's intentional commentary on itself as a show within a show. Even the family doesn't know what's real anymore. Springfield is cursed or exists outside time. This theory explains the town's isolated nature and impossible geography. Springfield has every climate, every terrain, and borders impossible states. Nobody ages despite decades passing. The town survives nuclear meltdowns, riots, and disasters, yet always returns to normal. Fans theorize Springfield exists in a pocket dimension, a cursed town trapped in an eternal loop. Some say it's purgatory, where residents relive the same patterns forever. Others claim it's a test by higher powers. The theory makes Springfield less a location and more a concept, a place where normal rules don't apply, because it exists between realities. The family's trapped there, unable to leave or change, doomed to repeat their dysfunctional patterns infinitely. Homer and Krusty are half-brothers. This theory explains why they look identical. Krusty's older, but in the right age range to be Grandpa Abe's illegitimate son. Abe gets around. He's confirmed to have multiple secret children. The theory suggests Rabbi Krustovsky's wife had an affair with Abe, resulting in Krusty. This explains Krusty's troubled relationship with his father and why he inherited Simpson wackiness, despite being raised in a religious household. The physical resemblance isn't coincidence or lazy animation. It's actual blood relation. Krusty carries the Simpson gene, affecting his judgment and explaining his terrible business decisions. Homer and Krusty are unknowing brothers, which adds tragedy to their occasional interactions.